Okay, everything you ever heard about Mexican buses is wrong. First of all, obviously, this one's got Wi-Fi. This is William Friedman for the Cross Country Local, an attempt to cross, well, the United States of America using only local transit. Didn't work out that way. Thanksgiving week, there was just no way using mass transit in West Texas to get from Fort Stockton to El Paso. Is Bonilla keeping you in good stead? Yes. Yeah, Gary, it is. I've been able... my back is much better. My back had something to do with... the Mexican ringtones are exactly as you imagine them. But my back, I had a sore back, and had very little to do with the backpack. Had a whole lot more to do with, I must have been getting some kind of low-grade virus, and so I got some ibuprofen, and I have some Klonopin for my anxiety disorder, which I have not had to take since this trip began, but I took a few Klonopin over the past few days because it's originally a muscle relaxing. Mexicans are very nice, except for the brat sitting behind me. I would like to put out the window, but yeah, Mexicans in general are really very nice. People in general are very nice. Now, here's the okay. First of all, I want to show you one more thing. Ever see an action adventure or sci-fi? Did it look like that? It really did. That's what I first noticed about the state of Chihuahua, is that it looks like every adventure movie ever filmed was filmed here. It's just got that stark landscape where anything can happen and anything can come from any direction. Outside of that, I wish I could say I've noticed more of a difference between Mexico and the United States, but not really. There's the language barrier, yeah, but the thing is, I halfway speak Spanish, and a lot of people here halfway speak English, so I've had no trouble communicating. When it comes to public works, they've got better transit in Mexico. Yeah, I'm serious. They've got better transit. We've got better storm drainage by a lot in both cases. I really have not noticed that much of a difference. I've seen poverty, but I saw poverty in the United States too. I don't see that much of a difference economically between Mexico and the middle part of the United States now. Now, certainly, I live on Long Island, and certainly coastal America. It's it's the Magic Kingdom. There's so much money, there's so much art, there's so much intelligentsia, there's so much learning, there's so much of everything. But from West Virginia on through Texas, with a few bright and shining spots in there, basically, this is what I've seen. And we're talking about the buses here. This is not the executive. This was just the next bus out of Chihuahua. Here's another thing. Okay, they got the box trolls on this flight. There is no seat back touch screens like there was on the Transporte Chihuahuenses. I will never get that right. Chihuahuenses bus that I took from Ojinaga down to Chihuahua. But look, I am leaning practically flat. You get on, you get in business class on a 737 on Delta Airlines. You do not recline this far. This is comfortable. This is more comfortable than a U.S. jetliner, this bus. And it's got the cloth seats, and the one I took south yesterday had leather seats, and like I said, the touch screens of the seat backs. But this is okay too. But yeah, my impression, and please correct me if I'm wrong, please provide me with some kind of empirical evidence to the contrary, but I don't think the middle part to the middle southern part of the United States is all that economically distinct from the northern border states of Mexico. It's I'm noticing a continuum, not a sharp dive off a cliff. Maybe I'm wrong, and certainly I'm going to check it out, but that's my operating hypothesis right now. There's just not that big a difference, so we should all kind of get over ourselves. People are people, and part of the reason why Mexicans are not coming up to the United States in any great numbers is there's no great advantage except, and besides, this kid's heading north. So if this kid were heading north, you'd be heading south too, right? So anyway, there you have it. It's also I was able to take the city transit while I was in Chihuahua. First of all, I got into Chihuahua after dark, and I didn't know the territory. So, contrary to my rules of engagement, I took a cab from the bus station to the hotel. But it was also like a 7-8 mile trip, so it was just the smart thing to do. So yeah, I took the taxi to the Hampton Inn, but I took mass transit back to the bus terminal from the Hampton Inn. I got on the urban and suburban bus route, and it was kind of a bare bones sort of thing. It wasn't a great ride, but it was safe and it was well maintained. It looked like it's had its day, but wasn't that bad a ride. It certainly wouldn't be up to, say, New York or San Francisco standards, but I've ridden on more primitive stuff in the middle part of the United States. So not a big difference there. And then that dropped me in the center of Chihuahua, and from there I took something called Vivebus, which is more, although it operates on the streets, it's more analogous to the subway in New York. It's got a special lane all to itself. You climb up on a platform. You pay. By the way, they've got essentially the equivalent of Metro cards on all the buses now. So I mean, this is not the chicken bus anymore. If it ever was, if there was ever that big a difference between Mexican and American buses, there isn't anymore. And to the extent that there is, the Mexican buses are better. You heard it here first. But yeah, the Vivebus took me to a 5-minute walk from the southern bus terminal in Chihuahua, and I was able to walk up to the counter, pay 580 pesos for this bus seat that reclines all the way. It's roughly 16 pesos to the dollar now, so whatever that is, I think it's like $40. And that's taking me all the way to Ciudad Juarez. From there, tonight, okay, so tonight I'm going to get into Ciudad Juarez. As you have heard, it's the murder capital of the Western Hemisphere, which right now doesn't sound too bad. Anyway, they have 8 murders a day there. If I head straight into Texas from there, I'll only be there a couple hours, so I like my odds. But I might. But I might stay overnight. It's really a matter of safety. But either way, I'll be in El Paso tomorrow. So anyway, this is William Friedman, enjoying the scenery of Chihuahua, and again, I hope you're following me here on Periscope. And if you are following me, I hope you're inviting your friends to follow Cross Country Local on Periscope. Screen back. No. Well, let's put it this way. If Mexico and America weren't this close culturally, would these spoiled brats be tolerated? Okay? Clearly, they're tolerated up north, they're tolerated down here. So I'm not going to make a big deal. But, the world just found out, what kind of parents Mexicans can be. All right, so anyway, what I do hope you're doing is following me here on Periscope, and you're inviting your friends to follow me on Periscope. We're also following on Facebook, the Cross Country Local community page on Facebook, and you can also follow hashtag XCLocal, that's X-Ray Charlie Local for Cross Country Local, on Instagram and Twitter. So that's it for now. I'll check in and see you at Juarez, and see you along the route.